You're here because you want to unlock Valby. She's honestly a really cool Descendant with crazy ability uptime, and she's great in combination with a good bunny as she keeps targets vulnerable to shock damage. Getting her is a little bit of a pain. I don't buy Descendants, I just do the grind because to me that's, part of the fun is checking things off a checklist one thing at a time, and that's how we're going to approach unlocking Valby. If we come to Anais in Albion at the research lab, we can pull up the research on Valby and it'll show us the 4 materials that we need in order to craft her. So going down the list, we have the enhanced cells. So we pull up the research info on the cells and we get another checklist. We're going to need Repton and Superfluid. Those are common crafting resources found just by opening boxes in the wild. But then we need 2 key items. We need 48 data processing neural circuits, which are very easily obtained simply by completing missions in the Vespers region. Just pick a short one, run it on repeat a few times, and you'll have all that you need. Next, we need the Enhanced Cells Blueprint. This can be crafted when you kill the Executioner in an intercept battle, but you'll need the right amorphous material in order to craft the cells once you kill the Executioner. So, amorphous pattern 016 can be obtained by completing the Sepulchre operation in Vespers. Very easy. It has a 100% drop rate. So once you've got the amorphous material, then you go kill the Executioner, and then you craft using the amorphous material and hope that you get Valby. If you've got those legendary cores stored up from the Horde mode missions, you can use those to force it to be Valby's cells blueprint. Otherwise, it's a 38% chance, I think, that you'll get what you need. If not, you just run it back. Once you've got the Repton, Superfluid, Neural Circuits, and now the Cells Blueprint, you can go ahead and queue up the research for the enhanced cells. And now you've got 1 of 4 items completed. Moving on to the next. Next up, we've got the Valby Stabilizer. We're going to need 2 more basic crafting materials, but we're going to need Murky Energy Residue this time, which is, again, very easily obtained simply by picking it up off of the Elite Monster that spawns in the Forgoten's mission in the Sterile Land. There's also another material later in the checklist that we'll need from this exact same mission, so we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. So go to the Forgoten's, and like halfway through the mission, there's an elite that spawns. You kill him, and he drops, I think, like 13 at a time usually. He's about halfway through the mission. Like I said, you have to walk over his body to get the material. It doesn't just go straight into your inventory. Easy peasy. And then finally, we need the Stabilizer Blueprint, and we're done. So to get the blueprint, you need to craft it at the Echo Swamp Void Fusion Reactor. This part is a bit of a pain unless you're like over level 40 and you've got guns that are over level 40 as well, which makes it a lot easier. Similar situation here to the last material. We need to obtain a certain amorphous material, and then we need to go complete a specific boss fight to use that material to craft the blueprint. So to get the amorphous material that you need, you got to farm the Muskeg Swamp Vulgus Strategic Outpost. It's a 30-second encounter, but it's on a 5-minute cooldown. The amorphous material has a 20% chance to drop, but I had to run this thing about 20 times before it dropped for me. You run in, you destroy the 3 canisters, an elite will spawn, you kill him. If you get the amorphous material, then you're good to go craft. Otherwise, if it doesn't drop for you, I suggest you just fast travel back to Albion and then travel right back and check and see if it's cooled down in your new instance. Trust me, do not just sit there and wait out the 5-minute timer. It takes like 15 seconds to travel back to Albion and then back to the swamp. Do that until you get a fresh instance with no timer on the activity. You can get like 3 of these done in 5 minutes this way, so don't waste your time waiting out the timer, because you're going to get like a third of the completions and less chances to get the drop. Honestly, they need to just take the cooldown out on this activity because people are working around it anyway. It serves no purpose whatsoever. Anyway, get the material, and then in the same region, just head east to the Void Fusion Reactor for a boss fight. But you're going to need organic void shards and monomer void shards to do this. There's a void shard in the Sterile Lands activity that Bunny can do that drops 4 monomer shards in a single run. But there are plenty in the swamp that require toxic damage, aka Freyna, to farm those, where you can get all the shards that you need as well. And I also have a guide on unlocking Freyna already posted on the channel if you need to unlock her. Once you've got your 11 organic shards and your 4 monomer shards, you can start the boss encounter here in the swamp. This guy is a bit of a pain. It's easiest with teammates. You're going to need to damage him until he spawns his little orbs that protect him and keep him immune. and you need to take those orbs out. But the thing is, these orbs keep cycling so that only one of them can be shot at a time, so it's kind of annoying. But once he's dead, go up to his body where the green ball spawns, put the amorphous material in, and hope that you get Valby's stabilizer blueprint. I did not get it on my first clear. It came up with a different material for a different research project. So I had to go back to the recon mission, form the amorphous material again, and then come back and kill the boss again. But now that you've got the stabilizer complete, you can go queue up the research for it. Next up is the Spiral Catalyst. Again, we need 2 basic crafting resources and 22 neural circuits. These can be obtained by completing literally any standard mission in the swamp. And finally, we need the Spiral Catalyst. Same deal as before. We need to get a specific amorphous material and then take that material to either the Stunning Beauty Intercept battle or the Dead Bride Intercept battle. If you're further in the game, you've got some other options as well. But the amorphous material drops from the operation called the Forgottens, which, right, we had to do that earlier for a different material anyway, so we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone here. Luckily, it has a 100% drop rate, so no need to roll the dice. You take the material to the Stunning Beauty, you kill her, you shove the material into the green orb, and you hope that you get the Valby Catalyst blueprint. If you don't, repeat the process. Now, once you've got everything, you can queue up the research for the catalyst, and you only need 1 more item before you're finished with Valby. Last up is the Valby code. This is probably the easiest one. We're just going to need to go to the Sterile Land and farm this little recon mission here, same as before. The amorphous material pattern 005 that we need has a 20% chance to drop from this encounter. Clear it, fast travel out, fast travel back again, clear it again, do this on repeat until you get the material to drop. Then head east in the same area to the Void Fusion Reactor in the Rockfall Zone. You'll need 12 monomer shards and 3 polymer shards, which are easy to get with any of the starting characters and Bunny as well. Start the encounter. 2 bosses will spawn. They're pushovers. Go to the green orb, put the amorphous material into it, and hope that you get the Valby code. Boom, done. Now you can take all the materials that you've just gathered, the cells, the stabilizer, the catalyst, and now the code, and you can now begin the research for Valby. It will take 16 hours before you can play as her, unless you throw $5 at the screen to rush the process and play her immediately. That I leave entirely up to you. And there you have it, the full breakdown on how to get Valby unlocked. I hope you found this helpful and informative. Good luck on all of the farming and resources that you need. Hopefully RNG is kind to you. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.